Great Britain. To the world, a symbol of order and history. But behind the postcard perfect facade, a shadow economy is thriving, one that moves billions in silence. This is an investigation into the modern British underworld, a hidden world where power is no longer measured in muscle but in code and currency. A 10-minute journey into the dark heart of the nation, its lifestyle and its evolving identity. Our journey begins in the north. For decades, the industrial docks of Liverpool served as the gateway for a global criminal empire. It's where the shadows first took root. In the post-war years, these docks weren't just about trade, they were about opportunity for those willing to bend the rules. Smuggling became an art form, passed down through generations. Whole communities were built around the silence of the docks. If you knew the right people, anything could be moved, for a price. This was the foundation of the modern syndicate. Today, the scale is different, but the gateway remains. Modern shipping containers can hide more than just consumer goods. The game evolved, but the gateway stayed the same. But the story of modern Britain is also a story of movement. Immigration has shaped the UK's identity, bringing new cultures, energy and perspectives to every corner of the country. From the Windrush generation to the modern day, the UK has been a destination for those seeking a better life. This migration has redefined what it means to be British. Yet, integration brings its own set of challenges. In a landscape of structural pressures, new communities often find themselves at the intersection of opportunity and exploitation. The underworld often preys on the vulnerable within these communities, turning dreams of a new start into a struggle for survival in the shadows. The British lifestyle is a study in contrasts. While the glitz of London's high life is visible to all, the reality for many is a brutal cost of living crisis. Rents are soaring, and the silent crash of the housing market is hollowing out the middle class. The lifestyle portrayed in media is increasingly out of reach for the ordinary citizen. The mythology of the gangster was born in these pubs and alleyways. These were the rooms where the first empires were planned over a pint and a whisper. A world of local legends. Loyalty was the only currency that mattered. Stories of street-level legends who built networks that reached across the oceans still echo in these walls. They were the pioneers of the shadow. In the 80s and 90s, muscle was the primary tool. Protecting territory meant being the hardest man in the room. Violence wasn't just a byproduct, it was a business strategy. But muscle has a shelf life. The authorities got better at tracing blood on the streets, forcing the underworld to look for new, less visible ways to operate. The age of the brute was ending. As the urban centres became too hot, the networks expanded. This was the birth of county lines, a tactical spread of narcotics from the cities to the rural heartlands. Exploitation became the engine. Vulnerable youths used as couriers, travelling hundreds of miles to deliver misery to unsuspecting towns. A new kind of front line. The operation is clinical. Dedicated phone lines, mass marketing texts, and a chain of command that keeps the bosses miles away from the risk. It's corporate efficiency applied to crime. It's a system built on disposable lives. When one courier is caught, another is waiting to take their place. The network is designed to be unbreakable and unceasing. But while the drug trade expanded physically, another branch of the underworld was going digital. The traditional gangs were evolving into something far more elusive. The street corner was being replaced by the server room. The hardest man is now the smartest coder in the basement. The violence was becoming silent, but no less devastating. Criminal enterprises are now as sophisticated as tech startups. They hire the best talent, use the latest encryption, and operate across borders that don't exist in their world. This is the Silicon Shadow, a world where identity is a commodity and anonymity is the ultimate protection. They aren't just breaking laws, they're rewriting them. Cyber scams, identity theft, and ransomware are the new weapons of choice. A single breach can be more lucrative than any physical bank heist, with much lower risk. With one click, they can drain a life's savings or bring a national utility to its knees. The scale of the reward is astronomical, and the victims are often the most vulnerable. Beneath the surface of the internet lies the dark web, the marketplace of the modern underworld. Everything is for sale, from stolen data to illicit substances and services. It's a global bazaar where the players are ghosts. They leave only a trail of encrypted transactions, making traditional policing almost impossible. This is the new front. The new players aren't just in back alleys. They operate from high-rise offices, blending into the legitimate world of finance and tech. They are the invisible elite of the underworld. They speak the language of business. They have lawyers, accountants, and consultants. They are the white-collar face of a black market world, hidden in plain sight. Trafficking networks move people like cargo across the channel. Promises of a better life turn into a nightmare of debt bondage and constant fear. The price of a human life is low. They are hidden in our residential streets, living in squalor while their captors profit from their every hour of labor. It's a shadow economy built on suffering. Victims are often too afraid to speak, held by threats against their families back home. The silence is the traffickers' greatest weapon. We walk past them every day. To defeat this, we must look closer at the services we use and the prices we pay. The true cost of a cheap deal is often a human soul. The shadow is closer than you think. All this illicit profit needs a home. Billions of pounds are being laundered through the UK every year, looking for a clean exit in the heart of our financial system. It's hidden behind the glitz of luxury boutiques and high-end investments. The lifestyle is the mask, and the clean money is the ultimate goal. A flood of shadow capital. London's property market has become the world's safest bank for the underworld. Anonymous shell companies own entire blocks of the city's most prestigious areas. Properties sit empty while the owners move their capital across the globe at the speed of light. It's a game of hide and seek played with glass and steel. A hollow city. The impact is felt by every citizen. This shadow capital is fueling the housing crisis, pricing out ordinary families from the communities they built. A structural failure. When the underworld buys up the city, the people who live there pay the price. It's a global greed that has a local cost. Our neighborhoods are being hollowed out. From the soaring cost of living to the disappearance of local culture, the shadow economy's reach is long. It distorts everything it touches, leaving the honest behind. Every pound laundered is a pound stolen from the legitimate world. It's a slow-motion drain on the nation's lifeblood, weakening the very foundations of our society. The authorities are struggling to keep pace. Laws designed for a physical age are being bypassed by the speed and scale of the digital and global underworld. It's a war being fought with outdated weapons. For every loophole closed, the syndicate finds 10 more. The catch-up game is constant and exhausting. Modern policing now requires data scientists as much as beat officers. The hunt for the underworld now happens in the cloud across a dozen different jurisdictions. Tracing a transaction through a dozen shell companies is the new high-stakes investigation. It's a puzzle with no edge pieces, where the rules change every hour. The British underworld is no longer just British. It's a node in a global network, connected to cartels and syndicates from every corner of the earth. A united front of crime. What happens in a server abroad affects the streets at home. Everything is connected. To solve the local problem, we must understand the global network. The most dangerous criminals don't wear masks, they wear suits. The corporate shadow is the hardest to pierce, protected by layers of legal and financial complexity. They are the facilitators, the ones who make the shadow economy possible. Without the professional class, the underworld would remain in the gutter. They brought it to the boardroom. Money doesn't stay in Britain. It flows to offshore havens. These secret jurisdictions are the lungs of the global underworld, allowing it to breathe and expand. The secrecy is the service. Until we close these loopholes, the shadow will continue to grow, fueled by untraceable wealth and unchecked power. A global challenge. As AI and automation evolve, the underworld will too. We are entering an era of automated scams and AI-driven laundering. The next frontier is already here. The battle lines are being redrawn. The question is, can the state evolve faster than the syndicate? The answer will define the next decade of our society. This is an intelligence war. Data is the new ammunition. To win, we must harness the same technologies that the underworld uses against us. Innovation is the only way forward. We must be proactive, not reactive. The era of the detective following a trail is over. The era of the analyst predicting the move has begun. A shift in strategy. The modern British underworld is a complex, evolving beast. It's a legacy of the past, a harsh reality of the present, and a major challenge for the future. It thrives in the shadows we choose to ignore and the systems we are taught to trust. To fight it, we must first see it for what it truly is: an invisible empire. The cost of inaction is too high. Every day we wait, the shadow grows longer and the grip tighter. The time to look into the darkness is now, for all of us. The strength of a society is measured by its ability to protect the vulnerable and uphold the truth. The underworld is the ultimate test of that strength. A test we cannot afford to fail. The investigation continues. This is the story of Britain's shadow, a story that is still being written, one transaction, one life at a time. Be part of the light. Stay vigilant. Understand the game. Because in the modern underworld, the most dangerous thing is not knowing you're in it. Thank you for watching. The end.